Hello, brethren. Today we are going to look at why heavenly beings prostrate before God in worship. Angel imagery, the imagery of the four living creatures and that of the 24 elders prostrate before God and the Lamb of God, is in itself a thickly layered portrayal of spiritual weight, especially across the theological traditions of Christianity presented specifically throughout the book of Revelation. Many religious traditions understand angels as the divine messengers and servants of God. They have been perceived to be carrying out God's will, protecting humanity and paying homage to God. Their presence underlines God's majesty and holiness, since they are shown as ever praising and extolling the Lord. The angels in Revelation act as intermediaries between God and humankind, as carriers of God's messages and executants of God's judgments. The four living creatures. These creatures, as described in Revelation 4:6-8, are generally viewed as representatives of creation. They often personify the aspects of life: the lion, which speaks to courage and royalty; the ox, a sign of strength and service; the human, intellect and emotion; and the eagle, spirituality and swiftness. Their worship of God without ceasing points to the concept that all creation is summoned to give praise to God in recognition of His sovereignty and glory. The creatures also symbolize the wholeness of life and the many dimensions of God's creation. The 24 elders seated around the throne of God are often interpreted to represent the faithful people of God throughout history, both the 12 tribes of Israel from the Old Testament and the 12 apostles from the New Testament. Their falling before God and the Lamb signifies humility, reverence, and acknowledgement of God's authority. They cast their crowns before the throne, proclaiming that whatever authority or glory they have is from God alone, and this really brings out the theme of surrender and worship. And to prostrate includes an act of utmost submission, reverence, and adoration. This shows or even confesses God's absoluteness in sovereignty and sanctity. Spiritualistically, this refers to the position man assumes or should assume before divinity, meaning in a position of lowliness and dread and of devotedness. The term Lamb of God is applied to Jesus Christ in Christian theology. He is the sacrificial Lamb who takes away the sin of the world. Worshipping God the Father and the Lamb shows the unity and divinity of the Trinity. It shows the belief in the redemptive work of Jesus and His place in the divine plan of salvation. This imagery, in short, gives the powerful reminder of the worship due to God and the Lamb by themes of creation, redemption, and especially the ultimate sovereignty of God. It calls on believers for the acknowledgement of God's holiness and the living of life, which reflects such reverence and worship.